welcome to worship this morning. I wonder, are there any of us who are Lego fans? As you can see, I like a bit of Lego. I've got a whole pile of Lego that we can make anything out of it. Lots of different colours, lots of ideas that we can have to build something. And I have got Yoda here, which I spent a couple of months making. I really enjoy making Lego model kits, and I have a few at home. And when people come round to my house, into my study, they see I've got a very long windowsill, which is very wide, and there's lots and lots of Lego on it. But what do you like to do to be creative? Do you like to make things out of cardboard boxes? Do you like to write poetry? Do you like to paint pictures? Do you like to draw? Do you like to make up rhymes? How do you like to be creative? Maybe you like to bake as well. Well, today we are thinking about creativity as one of our values for St. John's. And it's a really important value, I think, because being creative really does help us in lots and lots of different ways. It can help us when we're feeling sad. It can help us when we're feeling really happy. We can share ideas, and we can show other people the things that we make and make other people happy and inspire others too. Well, what we're going to do this morning is we are going to get a bit creative with our words. And what I'd like you to do in a moment is pause the video and write down the letters C, R, E, A, and the letter T, all down the side of your whiteboard or on a piece of paper. And what I'd love you to do is just take a couple of moments to think about the different ways or the different things you can use to be creative using each of the letters. And then I will fill in the last E at the end when you come back. So have a go, press pause on the video, and I'll see you in a few moments. Well, I wonder, what did you come up with for the letter C? Now, I've got some things for each of the letters, and for the letter C, you could use cardboard boxes, you can use card, colouring in, craft materials, cartoons, or even composing music. For the letter R, maybe you could use radio-controlled models, resin modelling, I don't know if you use that, or retelling stories can be very creative, or using robots as well. The letter E, excitement, it can be entertaining, engineering something, maybe using Lego, edibles, you can be with the things that you make, you can eat it, but what's really important when you come to creativity is your enthusiasm as well. And of course, for the letter A, there is art, there is acting, there are different activities you can use. There are things you can assemble, like Lego bricks or dominoes, or other models you can make, like Airfix models. Acrobatics can be very creative as well, for those of you who can do somersaults and cartwheels and all sorts of things. And a very good place to see creativity is the theatre as well, or the cinema. Well, that begins with the letter C, doesn't it? You can use your toys, a tube of glue you can use, and we have said telling stories as well. And the letter E, the last letter E, oh yes, I said I'd fill that one in for you, because with all this creativity, everywhere I go, in everything I see, wonderful, exciting creativity is all around me to see. I love being creative, I really do. And it's amazing what you can do with a piece of blank paper. You can draw on it, paint on it, you can scrunch it up into a ball, into a snowball, and throw it at people. You can write prayers on it. You can make it into paper airplanes. You can do origami with it. And I love origami. There are only two things with origami that I can do, and I'm going to show you one while I tell you about our Bible story today. In the very beginning of the Bible, God's people, the Israelites, were lost in the desert, having escaped from Egypt. And they were looking for the new home that God was going to give them. But until they arrived at their new home, God wanted them to create something, to build something. And that was to build a church. But you know, the Bible word for church is a tabernacle. Isn't that an amazing word? A tabernacle. And a tabernacle is another word for a tent, and is where people gather to meet, the tent of meeting. And it's in this tabernacle, or in this tent, where God wanted his people to gather to worship him. But God needed some things to be put inside this tent, this church, this tabernacle. So he gave his people, the Israelites, special gifts and skills to create beautiful things to go into this tent for worship. And if you've ever visited a church, I'm sure you've seen some beautiful things in there. Well, now, when people started making these things, or when they heard God's instruction, I'm sure that there were some people who thought, well, I'm not very good at making anything. But God gave them the gift of being creative, like he has given us the gift of being creative. And I'm sure that they didn't know they were good at it until they gave it a go. And they did. They gave it a go, and they created some beautiful things to go into this tent. So God has inspired us with creativity. And here's a little boat I have made. I'll put it in my Lego. So your invitation and your challenge today is to be creative. And if you are not sure, then just give it a go and see what happens. Take a piece of paper, take a pencil or a pen, and just draw something or write something. Maybe you're good at poetry, or maybe you're good at writing stories, a short story, a long story, or a diary entry of what you've been doing today. Being creative, it comes out of your mind, out of your imagination. Other ways of being creative today is baking something, or making a shape out of your lunch at lunchtime, making a face out of whatever you're going to eat, and then eat it. You might not know how good you are until you give it a try. And so maybe when you give something a try, you will inspire others to be creative too, because one idea can lead to another idea, and creativity just grows and grows and grows. So be creative today in all that you do. And so to finish, let's say a prayer together. Dear God, thank you for your special gift of creativity. Thank you that everywhere we go, in everything we see, wonderful, exciting creativity is all around us for all to see. Amen. Well, thank you for joining us for worship this morning. And I really hope that you will have a wonderful and creative day today. Take care of yourselves, and God bless you all. See you very soon.